Hi-ho, I left my home to join the army. To join the army. I left my...
What's going on, individuals and people from YouTube and Facebook land? This is the Watchtower, and I am Colt Montgomery. This is my co-host, the true American Bradass. And this is my lovely wife, right below me, Jessie Montgomery, also an Army veteran for those who didn't know. We don't just do music.
I don't know him.
What's up, Ken? I see you in there. Oh, man. So, how you doing, Brad?
I'm pretty good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing. I think
Been looking forward to this one.
Oh, yeah.
H. Bizzle.
H. Bizzle, Big Bubba.
I see you, H. Bizzle.
I'll hop to your channel. I appreciate that, Ken. Chop, Colt, Haley, Jesse, Montgomery. What's going on, y'all? I see y'all loading in here. What's up, Banjo? So those over there, real quick, just a quick intermission. Those of you over on Chop's page, yes, Chop is co-hosting this or streaming this. So if y'all want, you can slide over to my channel, Colt Montgomery, or True American Bradass's channel, which is... What is it?
At True American Bradass.
There you go.
Yep.
So you can slide over there, hop in the comments over there, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. We do this every Friday at 1500 Central Time and 1600 Eastern Time, y'all. So today we got a pretty solid topic that the panel and I agreed on wanting to talk about, is the transitioning from military to civilian life and the challenges that arise for the soldiers or service members, and the difficulties that it involves. I mean, in the chat, what do y'all, whether you're a veteran or an outsider looking in, what do y'all foresee being challenges? I mean, what is some of the stuff that you've gone through, Brad?
As far as just, adapting back, getting back into the civilian lifestyle is hard for everybody. Or, hard for all those veterans. I've noticed, we're forever changed. We're different. We, it's, where you wanting to go with it, Colt? Kind of start me out here.
Well, there's a couple of things that I know for certain, like finding employment or adjusting to civilian life, or other challenges with mental health, substance abuse, identity crisis, relating to others, reconnecting with your family, financial challenges, job searches, skill transitions, any of those that could be focal points. Have any of those been struggles of yours? Brandon,
Yes.
One of my buddies, one of my bubbas that I served with. What's up, Bubba?
Yes, definitely, man. I've had a lot of challenges in the employment world, for sure. Like I said, I was a medic in the Army, so I transitioned back afterwards to being an EMT in the civilian side, and I did that for a little while, but the PTSD and everything caught up with me, so I ended up having to change what I was doing. So I couldn't I couldn't work in the medical field anymore, so I ended up doing something different, pursuing a different career. And I think that's one of our biggest challenges too, is not knowing where to go if what you know doesn't work out.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
You, Jess?
I think it's a little different for me because when I got out, I was pregnant. So I mean, I got out and we had our son, and then, so it was a little different for me to transition out. I went from being military to full-time mom. I guess that's a big difference is like for women getting out is, are you going to go back to work in some other environment, or are you going to stay home with the kids? What's your choice? For me, it was stay home with the kids, but I also went to school at the same time.
Alexandria, what's up?
And I completely switched what I was doing. I went from military intelligence to psychology. So
That's a huge change for sure.
yeah.
I see you, Dustin. What's up, brother?
Hey, welcome everybody in the chat. Brandon, I sent you a link if you want to hop up on panel. We served together, so you're still in. So you might have some good inputs on this there, Bubba.
Yeah, Sarah, it was definitely a hard pregnancy and transitioning out of the military at the same time. It was a big difference, but I think it also kept me busy enough where I didn't have a lot of challenges except for being a mom to another newborn, because that was, our daughter was what, 5?
Yeah.
Jalen was 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a challenge, but not at the same time.
What about, so you touched a lot on the skill transitioning. You said it wasn't too difficult for you, Jess, because you went from military intelligence, but you also had your degree, plus the kids. But once the kids got more independent, you ended up using a different skill transition, or you ended up with a skill transition that pushed you into a different capacity. How was that transition? Was it easy? Was it hard to rewire that?
I don't think for me it was, because what I chose to go into was counseling, but specifically for substance abuse. So for me, it was, I already lived a childhood around that, so I wasn't like, I didn't know anything about what I was going into.
So it was just a complete rewire in itself.
Yeah, I was just having a different mindset about what I was doing instead of sitting behind a computer doing reports and everything like that all day. I get to actually interact with other humans that need help. I don't feel like I'm just doing a job for purposes of one person or one mission. I think I fluctuate to help people differently now. Like, I get to adjust and do what I need to do to help the others around me, and it's not the same for everyone. It's not a repetitive.
Was it easy for you?
For the most part.
Hey, Brandon, the link's in the comments. You can click that. We'll come over to my YouTube, and you can get the link in the comments.
For the most part, it was easy, yeah. I didn't have too much trouble.
Millie Red, Lexi, Brandy, Sarah, what's up? Sonia.
What's up, Millie Red? I see you.
So what about you, Doc? The difficulties, rewiring or anything like that?
Definitely. The routine thing, that's a big one. We got into such a routine in the military. Get up, make your bed, go to chow, whatever. Get everything done for the day, and then you do whatever you want. Well, we've gotten so used to, when you get out of that routine, it's hard because you're all, like you said, you're all over the place. You don't have any structure about you. Then it makes it a lot harder to get through your days. You know what I mean? To be productive anyway. That's a huge struggle for me.
Yeah, trying to find that motivation to keep you rocking and rolling.
Right.
Is as if you lost your purpose. Hoss, we were all Army. Anywhere from, for myself, anywhere from Virginia to Hawaii to Ohio, New York. We were up and down. Big Bubba. Y'all, we got one of the gentlemen that I served with coming up on panel to add some 2 cents. He's still serving, coming home to Ohio from SLC, which is Senior Leaders Course. Y'all welcome my battle, Brandon Goshi.
What's up? Sorry, I'm driving. I still have like 5 hours left.
You're good, Bubba. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by.
So some of the questions we're talking about, Bubba, because I know you were or still are in recruiting, ain't you?
Yeah, so I reclassed to recruiting like probably a year and a half ago or so, and then I just PCS.
Jesse Howard.
What's up, Jesse Howard?
We got Jesse Howard in here in the Watchtower watching y'all. So what we're on right now is talking about the transition from military to civilian life, but you being in, especially being a recruiter, where you're pulling new soldiers, or you're pulling civilians to become soldiers. So your take on all of this, especially you still being in, you're in senior leaders course right now. So you haven't yet to experience that transition, but your input could be valuable.
So my like thing about I like the beauty of being in recruiting is I get the best of both worlds, where I am still in. I still have to deal with like stupid stuff coming out at 6 o'clock in the morning and everything like that. But I'm like as close to being a civilian while still wearing the uniform. Like I don't do PT like organized maybe once a month or once a quarter now that I'm an AMED. But I still just 9 to 5. The only difference is I just wear a uniform when I go to work. And then with me being in recruiting and dealing with everything when I was in Columbus, like I'd say a good quarter of the people that I dealt with were people that got out that wanted to come back in, which baffled me that like the percentages were that high of that, because it is a big struggle of, depending on how long you've been in, usually like minimum first contract's like 4 years to, retirement or whatever.
Yeah.
The structure that you're dealing with from day to day, and then getting out and being completely on your own. And some people are lucky enough to, get out, already know what they're wanting to do, have a job, have everything lined up. But that's very rare and very few where everything is automatically lined up. And then you just get out and they're like, all right, well, you're a 30-something-year-old adult, go figure it out. When you've been serving since you're 18 and don't know anything other than military lifestyle.
So that's actually interesting. I didn't realize that the percentage was so high for.
I'm assuming the percentage is not high across like the nation, but it's just specifically in my area in Columbus.
Well, even in your specific area, it's surprising to hear that. Did you ever ask them, hey, so why are you trying to come back in?
Yeah, and again, a lot of it is because of that structure and like feeling like you have a purpose. A lot of it, the best thing that like I got told was when you're in the relationships and stuff, it's not just like, hey, you're a coworker. It's a family. Like if I break my car down now, I'm 5 hours away from anyone that I'm serving with will drive and get me. If you're working at McDonald's and your car breaks down, you can't call your manager at McDonald's and be like, hey, can you come pick me up? I'm 5 hours away. I'm like, why the fuck you calling me? Like, you're an adult, deal with it.
Right.
And it's that structure that they wanted back, and like more of like the brotherhood of being around like-minded people.
Man, preach it. So y'all, the ones in the chat, we got 27. Yes, we are also simul-streaming to Chop Easy's channel. I see y'all in the chat. What's up, everybody from Facebook world and YouTube universe? Welcome in. We're up here on the panel. Myself, Colt Montgomery. We got True American Bradass, aka Doc. We have my wife, Jessie Montgomery, a.k.a. Intel. There's my little semen demon. And And this is one of my battles that I served with. We were in Drum, weren't we?
Yeah, good old. I was 2014 deployment.
Mm-hmm. We were. Oh yeah, you were there with Sergeant Fulika's platoon with us, weren't you?
No, so whenever I showed up to Drum, you guys were already deployed. I showed up in December. You guys left in like November or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as I showed up, they're just like, "Hey, we already have a platoon deployed, and you guys are deploying as well." And then we deployed in April, and then just met you guys over there, and then stayed until the like end of 2014. It was like the 30th or something like that, 31st.
Yeah. So, my brother here, Brandon, he's in seniors leaders course. He's a recruiter. He's still in, but he is on a unique situation where inevitably he's in the middle of still in uniform, which he is, and dealing a lot with the civilian sector. So his input was valuable. Some of the struggles that I face being out is the skill transition, the financial challenges where we were so used to every first and the 15th, where we knew that we were getting paid regardless. There was no cut in the hours. It doesn't matter how many hours we worked. Very much so, Lexi. Very much so. The reconnecting with family and what something that Brandon touched up on was the loss of structure, and Brad touched on it too. The loss of waking up. We had a structure. It doesn't matter how disciplined you are outside the military or outside your capacity of service, it, but you get out or you don't have that structure anymore, and you tend to lose your purpose. Then you lose your motivation. Then you lose your sense of pride in the willingness to get on your doggone feet and do what you have to do. Um,
What you just said kind of goes in line with what Dustin was saying in the chat. He said the struggle
that's
is
what I was gonna
real.
say.
Got out in 2018, and I'm just now swinging back into a routine. Making motivation can prove challenging, but feels great when it hits.
yep.
That's
Yep.
right, brother.
Hey, well said.
Hey,
That's
you
all
got
right,
out
my
just
brother.
after me and Colt did. We got out in 2017, so it doesn't even feel real, honestly, that it's even been that long.
It still feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
I actually
Because that's
served with
what
Dustin.
7 years or something.
Yeah.
I just hit 5. I just hit 8 years in January.
8 years.
8 years in September
November.
for me. November for me. It still feels like yesterday that I walked out. Like I'm still trying to rewire, still trying to figure it out. And I've on numerous occasions um, I've told some of the people and my peers that I work with. I was like, look, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I get told act like you've been here before, but all my life I've been trained at this capacity. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm still trying to rewire myself and adapt to what I do know. My returning ended up in. I'm sorry to hear that, Jeff. I'm sorry to hear that. What's up, Ken?
I was trying to read what Carl said there.
Carl, Big
Yeah.
Six, no veteran should ever be on the streets, but unfortunately that's not how our government works. It's sad the ones who protect this country when needed are left behind when they need help.
Yep.
Well, if I can add to that, Carl, it does take self-discipline not to allow yourself to get on those streets, because there is help out there. There is things in organizations and groups that will help the veterans get to where they need to go if they would just put in that forward moving motion. You know? Y'all got any take on that?
I agree.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
like I was
I mean,
telling you the other day.
I don't know how the SFL tap is.
You don't know how what?
Okay. I know they've revamped the SFL tap process. I don't know how it was when you guys got out, but did they like go through all of like the benefits and how to use it and what like stuff is out there when you guys went through SFL tap?
Some, very little.
Or was it just a check the block? You know,
It was to check the block before you got out.
There was mandatory classes you had to go to check boxes, but there wasn't a lot of information provided on, like, if you're not going through a med board, if those were for the people that were just getting out, there was no real assistance for those ones that were just getting out to like how benefits work, how to do your VA, how to set everything up. But for those that were med boarding, I think it was easier because all of that got put in place for us.
Yeah, and like I was
for
saying the
people
other
that are
day,
just
Cole,
normally
about
transitioning out with ETSing.
Yeah, it's not as easy for them. It wasn't when we got out, anyways.
What you got, Doc?
Am I delaying over there?
No, he's
No.
delaying.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. But like I was saying the other day about the homeless veterans, man, a lot of them, the reason a lot of them are homeless is because they don't know the resources that are out there. And, you know, some of them are too far gone to even realize that, but we still have to be able to step in and accept them at whatever level they're at. You know what I mean? Like I told you, however they're doing in life, it don't matter. We need to have a program to where we can go literally take them off of the street and bring them somewhere and get their life together. You know what I mean? Because like I said, a lot of them are probably combat vets or, you know, dealt with some type of trauma or anything in the military.
Well, that's speaking on that with the trauma and everything like that. Carl touched base on. There's plenty of help. Trust me, I know. But if the veteran chooses to drink and push away that help, that leads into the next topic of the transition for a service member. Some of the things that we also struggle with is navigating our health care, finding support, because we felt like we lost it all when we ended up getting out of the uniform, and we lost our capacity of what we knew as we woke up and did what we knew. And then another two is identity. Trying to find our identity outside in a new capacity, and substance abuse, which is, you know, alcohol, moving into drugs, or whatever, anything that could help put us put ease to our pain, mentally or physically. So let's talk about it. I mean,
Well, one, just to clarify on what Carl said, you said that they drink a beer and they put the veterans pushing away the help. That's not what he was saying. He was saying that
right
the
here.
veterans the veterans are pushed away because they drink, not that the veterans are pushing away from the help.
Okay, yeah. No, you're right. They're pushed away because of their substance uses.
Yeah.
No matter what extreme, and one of the extremes, and I'll put my hand up on this. I did lean, and sometimes still lean on alcohol, because it eases some things that I think about. Eases some things that leaves me in a bad spot. Is what Sloosh? What's up, Bubba? I see you down there. Erickson, I see you, Bubba.
I mean, you're not the only one
Maggot Hawk.
that has ever done that. That's a big reason why a lot of veterans start drinking, is because even though it's a downer, a depressant, they use it because it helps to numb out the things that they're facing.
It's like I guess it's a reverse thing. I know alcohol is a depressant, but I
The
don't
thing
know.
is, it slows your thought process enough where you're not thinking about those things that you're struggling through. If you were to use a stimulant to try and erase the thoughts that you're dealing with, it would just increase the thought processes instead of slowing it down.
And this coming from a substance abuse counselor now, so it
Yeah, this
definitely.
is not me as a veteran. Sorry, this is me as a substance abuse counselor. Uh,
What about you, Doc? Substance abuse? Did you ever
Definitely,
turn
yeah,
to?
yeah, yeah. I was bad off in methamphetamines, but
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I'm 3 years clean. So
yeah,
there
yeah,
is
I
there
agree
is a
with
way
you.
out, guys. If anyone's struggling out there, regardless of what it is, there is a way out. Because trust me, I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Mm.
Even for me, like before I met Colt in the military, I even when I was in the military, that's what I was dealing with was after my first divorce, being a single mom trying to do the military at the same time. I turned to alcohol at first, and he's the one who saved me from that. He gave me the motivation to stop. That's what it was. It's not that he made me stop, or I didn't choose for him to stop, but he just helped me to realize some things in the end that I could do better for myself, my kid. So that was the first thing. But I even through getting the help I needed through mental health, I think I at some point used, anxiety medication or anything like that, things that would help slow me down or calm me as a crutch, as a band-aid to try and just keep me from thinking about it.
Yeah. Haas said it perfectly, just like you did. Band Aid.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was it, so when of course in the military, our thing was we'd go and get trashed Friday night all through the weekend at some hole in the wall bar, wake up Monday morning for a 5 mile PT run, and then go into motor pool Mondays, and we're still smelling like the whiskey or alcohol that we were sipping on all weekend, still functioning. So it was a habit already because you and your boys were out, or gals, were out having a good time, and then one thing that you slide on is old habits for comfort reasons. So, what was an old habit when you were having the best time of your life outside the uniform while still in that capacity? Alcohol, and that's what I leaned on heavily when I first got out.
First of all, Lexi, I'll give you
All right,
this.
let's reach. Let's
Congratulations on 2 years sober. That's awesome. Keep pushing. Keep
yeah,
going. 2 years is a big feat in itself, even just making it a year. But you've made it 2 now, so don't stop.
yeah.
Well,
Congratulations, Alexi.
let's. There's a question in the comment from Dustin. What's y'all's take on medical cannabis? Not for recreational use, but actual using it legitimately, or legitimate medical treatments. I don't know. I have not actually looked into it. I know it's out there. Um, I have nothing against it, but I don't know. I haven't actually met a battle of mine that says, "Hey, I medically this is what I do," and it helps. Usually, the battles that I meet, it's every 5 minutes they're rolling up another one. So it becomes more recreational in the outsider looking in than it does for the medical use. I couldn't tell you.
Clarification on that question, because if you're talking about medical cannabis, a lot of times what they're giving you is actually in pills now for medical reasons, not actually bud. They're not giving you the flower to smoke. So are you referring to it as like people use it for a medical reason, or are you referring to it as something that's actually prescribed to somebody?
Yeah, that's
Yes, but he
not
said,
for
what's y'all's
recreational.
Yes, I know that, but some people buy recreationally because they can't get it medically, but they use it for medical reasons.
Okay.
That's why I was getting clarification.
Right.
Either way,
I use it.
yeah.
I use it every day. I'll be honest with y'all. I use it every day. It helps with my PTSD. It helps with my chronic pain. It helps with my GERD, IBS. I mean, I went through the VA. I did all the medications, and all that did was mess me up even more.
Yeah.
Which also put me into a deep depression, not wanting to live phase. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah. I mean, that's it.
Yes, I do know that, Magahawk. I know some states do, but not all places do. It really depends on the state.
I mean,
Colt talking
it
about me.
definitely helps me.
Bars. Chop. No, and you can ask my wife. I've on numerous occasions. I'd be curious. I'd ask her like, hey, look, I know that you know she has some type of allergen to it, I guess. But I I've been curious on trying it. The only problem is every time that I have tried it, it's either put me in a paranoid state or it's made me want to go to bed.
Have you tried smoking it or edibles?
No, it was just smoking, and edibles didn't do anything to me.
Edibles didn't do anything.
No.
Because that's one way a lot of people can try it too. But I don't force it on anybody. But I'm here to tell you that it does help, and that's from I was a medic in the military, so you know what I mean.
I know.
I gave all my soldiers pills, and here I am telling you to smoke weed. So
That's fair.
that should be an eye opener for you.
I know a lot of people at the clinic that I work at. They use it for medical reasons. Most of them do for pain and sleep and things like that. A lot of them are using the gummies, but it's really difficult in the state. You can't legally buy it recreationally, but we don't use it against them in the clinics anymore. The states started to go through the processes for it, but Alabama's weird, and we have a bunch of head of churches and the Church of Christ on the board, so
yeah,
they've started in the processes. At least they can be in substance abuse clinics and methadone clinics now and not be punished for using THC. So.
Yeah, I can hear that, Justin. Depends what edibles you get. So like this, Dustin. So to clarify what you were talking about, Jess, in the forms of microdosing, for example, it keeps me from using 5 different meds with less side effects: chronic pain, depression, anxiety, insomnia, etc. Not smoking all day, pothead style.
Yeah. I would, if I didn't have issues using it, I would likely use it for those same purposes. I think it does help. I think it helps with lowering your anxiety and your depression levels. I think that it helps with pain, and I think that it helps with sleep. I think you also have to know which strands to use for those certain things, because in some situations you're going to need a hybrid, you're going to need sativa, it depends really what you're using it for, but I do think it helps.
Yeah, and I'd be thoroughly interested to look into something like that if I knew what I was looking at. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it to have a real 2 cents in it. Like Doc here, I know that he smokes. I know why he smokes. But as far as I've known him and interacted with him, he's not blowing dro every doggone 2 minutes. So he could be using it the way intended to help with the mental PTSD, the physical pains. I don't know.
There you
I
go.
don't know enough.
Justin McCollins says he can help you out.
I can help you out with that, brother. Hey, we'll stick up, Justin. Jesse, try Maggot Hawk says, try tincture. Most people have an allergen to the flower, but tincture is pure THC.
Yeah. I think that's the one that goes under your tongue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What about your opinion, Brandon? Do you have an opinion? Because, I mean, you're still in, but...
Yeah, you're still in the capacity. Do you have an opinion on that? I can't pronounce that. I'm not even going to try.
Where?
Tincture?
Tincture.
Yeah, tincture.
Tincture? Yeah. The
Yeah,
C's not...
it was
Yeah, the C is, like, there, but it's silent, too, at the same time. It's weird.
Right.
I've tried sativa, and it has made me feel less paranoid. It's a good chill strain.
Which is weird, because sativa is normally an upper.
Yeah.
But for... I don't know how this works for other people, but I've heard a lot of times for someone who has like ADD or ADHD, it helps a lot to do the opposite of using a sativa to actually chill you out versus an indica, which would actually do the opposite effect. For some, not all, that works differently for everybody, but I've heard that a lot for people with ADHD.
Yeah. Well, so we could doggone have a whole 5-hour podcast just on this topic. So we don't get too off track. Some of the other things coming out of service and into a new capacity as a soldier, into a civilian, is identity. There are a lot of people that'll look at veterans as if they don't know who they are, or they haven't found themselves, when we knew who we were in the capacity of the uniform that we wore. But now that we had our own ability to really discover ourselves in a different capacity, we're inevitably rebuilding ourselves on top of rewiring, on top of re-understanding, on top of, just figuring out how to live without somebody telling us how to live. Are these some struggles that y'all have gone through, Doc, Jesse?
Yeah, oh, definitely, man. Yeah, identity is a big one for me as well. So I keep bringing it back to the routine thing. The routine and the structure, that's a big one. Discipline. Having a team, that's another big one.
Yeah.
Because when you're by yourself, even though you can call people and people can be there, it's different. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
Than actually having that team with you, or that squad, or whatever, platoon.
And that's so ironic that you say we're so used to that team thing, yet when we get out, we are so anti anybody to be around us.
Right.
I don't know how that works. Like,
I think it's just the difference in the people,
Yeah.
and the careers, military versus civilian.
And we do it without even trying. Oh, look, my little semen demon.
What's up, buddy?
Hi.
America!
You hear it?
There you go. You call them true
Hey,
American kiddos.
Taylor from the trailer, welcome to the Watchtower. I appreciate you popping in, Bubba.
You can take my phone and watch it if you want. You can turn it up when you're in the room.
You're an awesome person. Since I started watching Panel Chop as well, you guys are going to change people's lives. Lexi, good Lord be willing. We're here to be lighthouses for folks.
Or the Watchtower.
Or the Watchtower. Regroup, resupply, and recalibrate.
That's right.
Are we back, Brandon, for like the 19th time? Are we back?
I don't think we can hear us. about socialization, like in auxiliaries? You guys join that program?
You guys.
Can you hear us?
We can hear you. You cannot hear us. Maybe.
And he's gone. All right. So Haas brought up a good question. What about socialization, like in a auxiliary, etc.? Do you guys join them or avoid them? Great question. Usually, 9 times out of 10, Hot Country, welcome in. I appreciate you popping into the Watchtower. Today we're talking about how a soldier, what a soldier goes through when coming out of the capacity of uniform. So I appreciate you popping in. To go on what Haas was asking, socialization like in an auxiliary, etc. Do you guys join them or avoid them? 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to avoid them. But what's so hypocritical of me about that is I chose a capacity that requires me to be in a large group and socialize and interact and network. So it takes a lot of energy out of me doing it myself.
Mm-hmm. Colt in a nutshell is, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, and then he gets home and he's like,
it's a decompression. Like I would much rather stay in my house and just be a hermit than to be out there in a social environment like that, because my head's constantly on a swivel. My senses are heightened. I'm watching this, watching that. I can't focus on 15 things and expect to maintain that social energy that I'm supposed to be having, if that makes sense.
Yes, makes sense. I'm the same way, you know that.
Yeah. What about you, Doc?
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. Like the crowd thing. That's huge for me still.
I say
Being
less,
in
make
big
it help.
crowds. As much as I would love to be out and enjoy myself and go to different things, big events, it's almost not even worth it because of all the different feelings that I would, encounter while I was there. Whether it
That's
be
why I
loud
always stay at the
noises,
back.
whether it be, people fighting. That's a big one for me. If I see that, I automatically go back to war. So,
Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
yeah, man, it's big.
Blindly running into doggone that fight mode again, regardless of the outcome, it's just instilled in us.
Definitely.
I think more so for you guys than me.
I think that's the protector in us too.
Yeah. Why
Brothers
you
keepers,
say
sisters
that? Just
But just MOS based. I mean, yes, I deployed. Yes, I went to Afghanistan, and I dealt with all that stuff, But you, being a medic and being MP, you guys were more front, like dealing with more of the conflict than I was. I hate to say it, I was the one behind the computer telling y'all what was going to happen before it was ever happening.
yeah.
That's so.
Yeah,
I guess
it
it's
messes
what.
with y'all in a whole different way.
Yeah, for sure. I can't even that's why I couldn't go into doing the same thing I did in the military. One, it just can't have my phone. I separated from family. If my kids had an emergency, how was I supposed to know? And that means he was responsible for everything when I was in the skiff. I can't. I didn't want to do that getting out, so it just messes with your brain too much, and knowing everything before anything happens. It's like, please God, don't let this happen.
Huge shout out to Christopher in the chat. Huge shout out to Jay Davenport, Maggot Hawk, Ken, Lexi, Hot Country Music and Media. I appreciate y'all being in here. one of the other topics that we briefly touched on was finding the support in the capacity of you didn't have your team, you didn't have your squad lead to be there, your platoon to be there, and then finding the support outside that. Why we don't necessarily like talking about our time in service is we truly believe y'all won't get it. Y'all won't understand us, but that's just, that's our
demons to deal
demons. Yeah, it's not that we don't respect it enough to want to try to communicate with somebody, but what we are trying to rewire ourselves to figure out and understand is there are people out there that can help you whether they were in your boots or not. In some a lot of times we've got to let that go to talk to people. I've gone to therapists and psychiatrists and psychologists that my wife had to sit in the doggone session with to answer the questions for me because I was ready to go to battle with this doggone psychiatrist.
That was fun.
What you got, Doc?
I was reading the chat. Trying to keep
You
up with
didn't
everything.
duck at all. You still were seen.
As an outsider, I get it. I will never know how it is. That's why I'm always learning from shows like this and my son-in-law. You just suck at rapping. Hell yeah. Damn right. That's why I don't rap no more. Free tax. Take your EBT ass on.
Yes. Okay. I don't like considering those who
What's up,
never
Drew?
served as outsiders because look, they're those. When you're married, even though we were dual, right? When he was doing something and I was home, either way, like the other parts of the family that weren't in the service, they were still there. They still had their own stuff to deal with through all of it. So, no, you might not have been in the service, but you still, in some aspect, understand or have been through something that was similar or maybe traumatizing.
Can you hear me now?
Relate to what someone in the service would have went through.
I know free tax. I like trolls.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. We can hear you now, Bubba.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
go to
absolutely
dead
can't hear
spot.
You dead spot. They didn't know what Wi-Fi service or cellular service was wherever the hell you were.
I'm just south of Louisville. It sucks through there, and I didn't even think about it. And then my phone just turned off, and I was like, "That's great."
It's
Yeah.
all good. You back now?
Yeah, you back
I'm
now,
good.
Bubba. So we talking about substance abuse. We went over that, and then
Okay.
finding your identity again, getting out of the capacity of uniform.
No, Hunter, the other yes, it is another podcast, but that's in the evenings. But they're sharing a stream right now,
Yeah.
so it's on Chops as well right now for this. Even though this is Colt's primary show,
Yeah.
he's on Chops later as well.
So Hunter. There we go. Yeah, Hunter. So this is the Watchtower, but because my Bubba, Chop Easy, we were on the show last night, and to gain a little traction from country rap shit, he had mentioned, hey, why don't you add my channel as well when you go live for the Watchtower? And we do the Watchtower every Friday to regroup, resupply, and recalibrate to start our weekend off right and come with the right mindset on the next workday. I never saw organized warfare, but grew up in East Cleveland, Ohio in the 90s. That was warfare every day. Hey, I can't imagine. I've never been in a situation like that. So I can't imagine what you went through, Bubba. PTSD is what? Hold on. High Country said something. PTSD is a real thing, regardless of service or everyday life.
Right.
That is absolutely correct. PTSD is not just uniform related.
That's what I was saying. Traumatic. That's what I was trying to touch on was PTSD is so much classified towards military people, and it's overlooked for those that aren't in service a lot of times because I don't know, I just think that it's misunderstood for a lot of people that were never serving.
I feel like when people just hear PTSD, they just automatically assume that it's someone from the military.
Yeah.
It could be literally any situation whatsoever.
Well, it almost became a stigma that it was just military.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was, you served, you must have PTSD.
Oh yeah, you're crazy. We can't hire you. There's our daughter in the chat. She must be on the school bus now.
Get out.
Have you you got any input on getting veterans getting out of the uniform and into the civilian sector? Do you have any input on their trying to find their identity, I guess?
Me?
Yeah, do you have any input on that?
So a question for you guys. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't. My stuff was messed up. So how long have all of you guys been out? So
Going
it's
on
like
8
8 years. How long have you been out, Doc?
6.
So do you guys feel like you now have figured out what like your identity is as just you, like no affiliation with any military whatsoever?
Nope.
No.
No.
To a degree, yes, but like I don't think our
like
identity
maybe day to day, but like overall probably not. And
yeah.
Triple T.
Yeah. So like,
what's up, Triple T?
And
we
he's
lost
gone.
him again. Hey, Triple T, this is for you if you want to pop in and talk a little bit. Welcome to the Watchtower, baby.
Oh, just got a phone call. Yeah, sorry, I got a phone call, so it flipped out for a second. But with you guys being out for 6 and 8 years, and you guys still haven't figured that, like, it's not something that just like happens overnight. Of like knowing who you are as, you know, an 18-year-old person joining the military, and then you know in your late 20s, 30s of being a civilian. Like it's something that like takes a lot of like time and effort, and then just a lot of like self-reflecting of like who you are and like what you want to be, and like not like some people don't get it or like never get to that like point. And I think that like we need to not like be so like negative and like make it a stigma of people not knowing what they want to do after they get out.
Well, for me, the biggest struggle is rewiring myself. Understanding that, you know, some of these folks that I run into, I don't have to go to parade rest for.
You will when you see me, because I outrank your ass now. So
I outrank you. I'm a civilian now.
But see, stuff like, you know, y'all are joking about that, but stuff like that is fun for us.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where like I especially being like a recruiter and stuff. Like obviously we being Army always dog on like the Marines and the Air Force and stuff like that. But then I'll go into a high school and some high school kids trying to do it, and I was like, you aren't allowed to do that. Like we do it as like something because like we still have respect for each other. We still respect other branches. We still respect everybody enlisted. But like yeah, for that I was like that's like don't do that. Like you join the Air Force, yeah, you can talk crap about me because you get to live all nice and petty and all that crap. But like as a 16-year-old kid, like
fucking cheer force.
Yeah, but again, we're allowed to make those comments. Like someone that hasn't served shouldn't be like, you know, doing that, or me joking about you better stand in parade rest when I see you next. Like we can make those jokes, but I'm not expecting like, you know, some random other person that like I don't know or don't have like that rapport with to joke and banter and all this stuff is the same as like what we do.
Yeah.
What flavor crayon?
We have real service members up here, Army.
Yeah, I
That
know. But I get to you know what? I now have a family member. We have a family member that we get to say that to.
Oh no, I'll light him up.
Who?
My nephew went into the Marines.
Loser.
Yep. Look, we sat for weeks and months and whatever trying to convince him to go to school first.
If you're gonna do anything, go to school and go OCS. And if
Hey, come to me.
anything,
I'm AMAT. I'll put you in as a doctor. All right, like that's what I do now. You got your
boom,
bachelor's. Let's go to medical school.
there it is.
I wish I would have done that.
Now
go.
that I'm like actually doing the processing and stuff, like I was like, why didn't I just do this? Like,
Speak of the devil.
Talk to him.
Hey, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Triple T, also an Army veteran. I'm honored to have him up here. And Brandon, Triple T. Brandon is a battle of mine that I serve with. He's coming home on a little leave from SLC. But Triple T.
just for the weekend, I got to deal with some family stuff back at home. But yeah, good old SLC at Fort Knox.
Nice. Well,
It
Triple
sucks.
T, he's not only a veteran.
Look at that.
He's not only a veteran, but a well-decorated veteran, might I add. But is also working in the same capacity that I am now. So to have him up here to ask some of these questions, I would love to hear his take on it. What's that, Triple?
The question.
What are some of the struggles that you've gone through trying to adapt and rewire yourself as a civilian coming out of your capacity in uniform?
Dealing with civilians. Civilians suck. Like, no, for real, because when you're in the uniform, and anybody who's been in for a while, when you're on a military installation, you have to deal with those civilian government employees. They think they're entitled to everything, and they don't ever want to do their job, and they don't want to ever help soldiers out. And unfortunately, it carries over into the civilian sector as well.
Did you ever struggle? Now I say this lightly, but it should make sense to you. Veterans may struggle finding a new identity outside their military role. So you
Oh
coming out
yeah,
as a senior leader, did you struggle trying to recalibrate yourself to rewire your thought processes and trying to figure out who the hell you were?
most definitely. That was the hardest thing to deal with because the day I retired, the very next day I became a civilian. I was lost. I didn't know what to do, and that's when your mental state kicks in and you start fighting those demons.
Lean into substance abuse, which we just got off of talking about.
Yeah. Am I coming in okay?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Brandon's in a car, so you'll hear him driving.
Yeah, sorry, my car's a little loud.
Well, it's all good.
So, it's that, and then some of the other things we're talking about is, your skill transitions. We getting out. Me, when I got out 7, 8 years ago, I bounced from job to job to job to job, always having a problem with some leader that wasn't being a leader but being a tool pouch, that damn near went fisticuffs. And I'm still trying to maintain myself and my discipline, but these dudes don't know how to even talk to people, let alone lead anybody.
Well, that's the biggest problem. I think one of the things the military needs to work on, and they're trying to do it, is they got this thing called CSP training, to where soldiers can take their last 6 months and go to some type of schooling to help better them to find a good job when they get out. Um, a lot of problems is the when you're, for example, for me, I was in for over 20 years. I was an E8. I was the big dog on campus.
Yeah.
And then when you get out and you have to go work a meaningless job,
Yep. E1 pay again.
yeah, and you got some, snot-nosed little college kid being your boss and don't know his head from the hole in the ground, you just want to snatch him up.
Mm. Yeah. What about you, Brad? Jesse? You ever go through any of that?
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
What was that?
That's a huge one. Like, you talking to me or
What was the
Brandon?
question? Sorry.
Well, you're still in the capacity, Brandon, being
Oh no, I was
recruiter.
just I didn't hear what the question was.
Has Brad or Jesse gone through getting out with, they were a leader or at some capacity of handling or being responsible for something or someone's? Have you had to deal with reintegrating into the civilian sector and being under just people that just don't know how to talk to you, don't know how to treat you? They're all of it.
Yes, definitely, man. Like I said, a lot of run-ins, at different jobs, like you was talking about, almost ending in fights and stuff like that. It's not good for us. It's, I don't know why it ends like that, but what does that say?
No, B. Smith says, I retired E8, civilian world is jacked up. Civilian world is jacked up, can make a decision, and zero leadership skills and attributes as a leader. That's one of the biggest things that I struggle with. Is I because I have that discipline in me, I've got respect for everybody. But because I have respect for everybody, people will take advantage of that as if, I'm meek. And then when I finally open my mouth and pop off, I'm a fucking tool.
Yep, especially on social media.
Cool. You should
Oh,
send Christopher FJB a link.
I'm
It's the
absolutely
Snatch
going to.
Wagon.
Oh shit!
Chris.
Yeah,
Chris.
Christopher FJB.
Yeah.
He's. I'm absolutely already dreading the day I get out. I'll hit 17 years this year. Well, come on, let's talk about it.
With more than a few times overseas, every time I come home, I realize more and more how much normal people suck.
Oh shit! Wisconsin.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Bubba, come on. The link's in the comments. Scroll up.
Here, I got a question for the people on the panel that are out.
Yes, sir.
Has everybody took care of their VA stuff?
Oh, you daggone right.
100%.
100%, baby.
Okay.
100%.
Yep. My kids are taken care of for college, both of them. Hey, huge shout out to my
Well,
wife because
now,
that
are you
paperwork.
PNT? Are you
Yeah.
Yes.
PNT?
Yep.
Yes.
PNT.
Both of us
Okay.
are.
Permanent and total, baby. Permanent and total. The kids are well taken care of. Their futures are set. The medical is
You know what? You know what
fantastic.
best state? You know what the best state to live in if you're a veteran?
Tennessee,
Nope.
educate me.
Louisiana.
No kidding.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Because they have the best educational benefits, the best tax write-offs, the best everything when it comes to veterans benefits.
Huh. That's
Yeah.
crazy because I'm from Louisiana, and I wouldn't have never thought that.
Yep. So
I
if you're
actually live in I'm in
100%,
Illinois.
if you live in Louisiana and you're a veteran, and let's say you had 10 kids, and you're 100% P&T, all 10 kids can go to any major university, private university, doesn't matter how much it costs. The VA will pay the full tuition, plus, as of today, they would each get $1,489 spending allowance each month.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
My kids are good.
They can go to school and not have to ask me for money.
Yeah, bye, Felicia's. Hey, Chris. Links in the chat, Bubba. I just posted it again. No, that's crazy. I would have never expected Louisiana.
Yeah, a lot of people think Texas is the
I know
best
that's
place to
where
live, but
Cole, I don't know if you remember
but
Make a White Check. I know that's where he's at now.
Oh,
Louisiana blows Texas out of the water.
Wow. Well, I know one thing. I've been paying attention to things like property tax. I know Texas, there is no property tax. If you were
Same
up
in
in
Louisiana.
if we were up in Virginia, no property tax, especially being 100% P&T. So that's interesting. I'm going to have to dive into that because we're literally on the verge here in the next month or two about to use the VA home loan and finally settle down on a lot of land. I might have to look into to Louisiana.
Yep. You get free hunting and fishing license for life. You get free driver's license registration.
Let's
Free
go.
property tax. Free education for your spouse and kids.
And
Chris, I
that's
sent a link to your messenger.
and that's without using
The GI Bill.
no kidding,
Yep.
man. These kids are gonna be well off.
That's what I'm saying.
Both my youngins, they're like, I want to be just like mom and dad. I want to go and join the army. And both of us like, no, the hell you're not. You're gonna go to the Air Force, and you're also gonna be an officer. So my daughter wants to get out when she's done with high school and everything. She wants to go and be a veterinarian. All right, whatever you want to do. And then she's like, but I want to do the military first. And I said, not without college. And you are going Air Force. And my son, he's like, I'm going to be like my dad. I'm like, no, you're not. I promise you, you're not.
Oh, he said he wants to fly planes.
Air Force officer. You're going to be like his uncle.
Yeah, but you got to admit though, the chances and opportunities of promotions are least likely in the Air Force than they would be in the Army.
You're not wrong. And even still, if they did stick to Army, then they're going in after OCS. And they're going to be top of their class, and they're going to get to choose their doggone MOS. That I would be okay with.
I mean, he could still fly in the Army.
Yeah, if he's a warrant officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, my youngest son joined the Marines to piss me off.
Sounds like my nephew.
Hey, Snatch Wagon, what's going on, Bubba?
What's going on?
I just put two and two together. It's like, yeah, Chris, just getting out. What? And then just put two and two for me. It's like, oh, shit, yes. Man, it's good to have you up here, man. So if y'all missed it in the chat, Chris had said, I'm absolutely dreading the day I get out. I'll hit 17 years this year with more than a few times overseas. Every time I come home, I realize more and more how much normal people suck. Colt, this is the Snatch Wagon Megatron. So, yeah, it's as I told you when we were up there in Wisconsin, it was rough for me, and still is. I'm going on 8 years of being out, and I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck I am, how to interact with people that has never been in the same capacity, and the only one that I really did connect with or didn't feel weird around is anybody that was already in.
Yeah.
Because we understand each other's mindsets, or if we have a different love or respect for each other. I don't know what it is, but it's always been that way for me. So, dreading it, I get it. I absolutely get it, because I didn't know what I was going to do, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, that's kind of where I'm stuck right now. I mean, getting closer. I know the day's coming. It's getting closer. Uh, it's inevitable. I think that's why I started doing civilian contracting. I mean, I'm sitting overseas right now. It's 11:11 in the morning right now. I took another contract, and I don't know if some way that was kind of me trying to find something to fill that void before I get out or what. But for now, that's why I'm doing civilian contracting overseas. I'm sitting in fucking Africa right now.
How much longer do you have in?
I'll hit 17 years this year. So they kept me on the
You already have
books.
the countdown going on your phone?
Nope. As much as I wanted to get here, I don't. I don't know.
How's
The
the wife
military,
doing?
the military is like a fucking drug.
Right.
But it's still good. Like, you're at 17 years, and I'm already planning like that 3 years out of what you're gonna do after. A lot of people will get to where they either drop their retirement packet or find out they're getting out, and then they hit the like, oh shit, what am I gonna do afterwards?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, I got my 7 now. The military's working really good with me with doing contracting. They keep me on the books. They definitely work with it really well. I've done contracts before, and never always had full support of the military, so they know I'm kind of planning my exit. And as much as it sucks being gone, like even being on this contract, I've been here for about 2 months now. And I mean, I got a 7-month-old daughter.
That's what I was asking.
terrifying.
How are they doing back home with you there? I know you've probably gone through it before, but with the new one.
Yeah, they're doing all right, given I guess what it is. She definitely, I mean, she's got a big family. Colt, or you and Jesse and Colt, both of you guys know Chris, Buckland, Wisconsin.
Yep.
He's close by. Her family's all close by. She's got a lot of people with her.
Chop easy. Thank you, Bubba.
To help her out. So
that's definitely a good thing to have, like especially for. That's the only thing that I think I can say that kind of sucks about those that the family. When you deploy, if you're not in an area where you have family, it's really hard.
Well, and the thing that I guess majority of the people don't realize, unless you're in and you've experienced it, is yes, I'm the one that's here, but I have to worry about. I mean, obviously, I got people that I work with. They've been doing civilian contracting, but it's just mostly me. Well, she's got a baby to worry about. She's got everything at home to worry about. She doesn't have help from me. She's on her own. And there's a ton of people that lose sight of that.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest fear when you come to your expiration date in your capacity right now?
He's not dying.
Eventually, we all come to our expiration date in uniform. All right. That's what. That's hell. It felt like I died.
I'm just
Um,
Look, I even have a whole fucking memorial for it. I died.
biggest fuck. Can I say fuck on here?
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right. I don't know. I guess getting into a civilian role, home, and honestly stepping away from contracting, so I am home at some point. But
Built like a fuck off, chop.
I don't know. Probably losing it whenever I get into a permanent civilian role. Whenever I know this side of it's done. Once I finally hang it up and I know it's officially done and I'm not coming back, then that reality sets in. Like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? This sucks.
The what ifs.
He built like a Civil War statue. I swear, chop. Look, I got my own personal troll in the chat, y'all. Y'all go make sure
He's
you
so
follow
deadass.
him tonight. Tonight on Country Rap Shit, we are going to be popping that live, talking country rap shit, hot topics in the country rap lane, reviewing your music, and I don't know, we might need to tighten up if you slide through.
So you think it's the what ifs, like?
Yeah,
what
just
if-
unknown.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do without this? This is everything you've known for
The past 17 to 20 years. Well, yeah.
Rick. Since you turned 18, especially. I mean, for me, I joined right whenever I was 18. I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, so I joined the Army, and then kind of built something from it. Well, that's everything that I know.
Yeah.
So-
your whole adulthood has been this, so it's like now I'm getting out, and I have no the fuck idea what's gonna happen.
Right.
There's one thing that terrified me when I got out. My wife was pregnant. We were about to have our son. I had 2 kids and a wife that I had to take care of, and this is why I'm thankful that I got out, because it instilled something else in me that the military. I know the military puts a sense of urgency in you to get things done, but when you have no idea, no plan, no purpose, no nothing laying at your feet, you just have an empty slate and you got to figure it the hell out with no assistance, no team, no nothing behind you, pushing you, helping you, guiding you. It taught me how to make something out of nothing, because I'd be damned if I watched my family, my wife, my kids go without.
Yeah.
So I fought tooth and nail to get to where our family is right here, right now, and I'm not disappointed. I tell you what, it was tiring, and I would still, even to this day, I would still go back and put the uniform on if I needed to. Hell, I would much rather go back down range where it all made sense.
It's simpler.
It is.
But it's
Even-
like, at least you had like that drive and that motivation and that stuff to like keep going and to do something when you did like get out. Like you got family, kids, and all that stuff. There's some people that get out with no family, no support system, no anything, and then they're just like, just dropped off and have nothing.
Yeah.
I was damn near close to doing that. You can ask Jess. Jess being the best damn mom that has walked the face of the earth. But even with that, Jess watched me. I fell apart. I didn't know who the hell I was. I literally became a different person for years. You couldn't communicate with me. I was just unresponsive. I was in a dark place. but I didn't quit. And so when I've got a brother that's about to transition out, I feel that. I feel the nerves tightening up in my body. I feel the fear again because I don't want to go back to that. I'm still trying to climb out of it. What about you, Doc?
Oh, definitely, man. Like I said, I mean, it's a constant climb once you're in that hole. You know, getting back out. It's I mean, it's hard for people to understand. It's actually hard to make yourself understand. Also, like you said, you got to rewire your mind. That's something we don't learn in the military because we just go. We do things, just, set times, whatever, routines, and when you don't have that anymore, it really messes things up in your mind, not just in your physical aspect, but also your mental aspect.
Bubba, this is all I'm going to say, Chris. You got my number. The closer you get to it, my phone better be ringing every doggone day.
Oh, yeah.
If I got to make my trip up there to Wisconsin and we go and have a beer at the shop with Chris, so be it. But
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's all we can do. Huge shout out to what's that, Brandon?
I said, hey, you'll do it too, because I think I've called you once at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning or something, just because I needed to talk.
Yep. And that's my brother that I served with. He calls me up and we're on the phone for hours, just because he needed to get some things off his chest.
Yeah.
Hide and watch, I'll be there.
I appreciate it.
Doggone watch. And I served with Brandon.
I still haven't seen you since I left for the second deployment. I haven't seen you. But slacking on that part. But I still know, not seeing you after 8 years, I can still call you up at any point and know that you'll still be there no matter what.
You keep missing the doggone shows that we're having up there in Ohio in your home state.
I moved, dude. I'm in Pennsylvania now. I moved in October, and then of course you came up, and I was like, you came up as I'm going to SLC, so I was like, I can't drive up and make that one.
I know.
And then when you came up the last time, I was going down to Florida to take care of my dad.
Yeah. Hey, I want to give a huge shout out to Valor Archery Challenge. Yeah, loss of purpose and camaraderie spins my veterans into depression, stress, and anxiety. That is something that we deal with day in and day out. It's not fun. The man, the myth, the legend, Triple T.
Hey, don't let Colt lie to you, because when I called him one time, all he wanted to do was talk about cowboy hats and eyeliners. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Right? He's lying to you right now. I'm telling you.
Go ahead and spin that narrative. Let the interwebs get a hold of this.
Clip it.
Hey, listen. Is it Snatch Wagon?
Yeah.
What it is?
His name's
That's
Chris.
the name of my truck.
He got a giant monster truck.
I will tell you this. So it's no secret. I work for the VA, okay? I do soldiers' claims before they get off active duty. The first thing you need to make sure is when you hit that 1 year mark, start getting your ducks in a row to file your VA claim. So that way, when you get out, your check kicks in the very next month.
So a big thing that I learned, had one of the old timer years ago talk to me about that, and once upon a time, I mean, I'm doing good now. Whatever. Once upon a time, needed some help and started looking around. One thing that I tell everybody, that anything they need, to just Google the Veteran Service Office of their county and call that number. If they don't know, if they don't have the answer, they'll get you the answer.
speaking of which, quick point out, you can see at the bottom, if you're a veteran in crisis or concerned about one, please call the Veteran Crisis Line at 988 and press 1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is a huge thing, especially when you're starting it before you're actually out.
Yeah.
And don't walk into the Facebook VA claim thing, the claim sharks, where you're going to wind up owing them 20 grand for it.
Look, if you got to pay somebody to do your claim, that's the wrong business.
Nope.
Because it shouldn't cost you anything to do your claim because you earned it. Don't give any money away because there's a guy on YouTube. He was an E6 in the Air Force. He never deployed. He did 6 years. He got out and he started this online business to file people's VA claims to where he gets 20% of their back pay. And he's banned me, blocked me. He won't let me comment on any of his videos. I
What's
have
his
to go
name?
into all accounts. Ah, shit. When I get home, I have to look him up. But what I'm getting at is, if you, even on YouTube, if you come across YouTube channels that say they can help you with your VA benefits, if they already start talking about any type of percentage of back pay, cut sling low, don't do it because it's a scam. Because all you're doing is giving away hard-earned money that you earned, not them.
Sling load. The VA will work with you. For the veterans in the chat, Valor, if you want to talk to your veterans as well, the VA is there to help you. The VA is there
Fact.
to get you what you deserve and what you need. So reach out to them.
I'm working on a claim right now.
Boom. No, don't. That's one thing. Well, actually, that's just what this episode of the Watchtower is talking about. Is just the transition from military to civilian life, with the skill transitions, the job searches, the financial changes and challenges, a loss of structure, reconnecting with family, relating to others, mental health, navigating healthcare, finding support, identity, and substance abuse. Now, this could go on for hours, but
Let me say this, Cole.
topics. Yes, sir.
So there's a program the VA has a lot of people don't know about. It's called vocational rehab.
Yep.
So vocational rehab is set up to where they'll help you find jobs. They'll conduct mock boards with you. They'll do all kinds of things to help you get gainfully employed. But what a lot of people don't know about, the VA vocational rehab gets millions, and I mean millions of dollars poured to them every year by the federal government. And they actually give out grants for people to start a business. And because it's a grant, you don't have to pay that money back. That's basically free money.
Yep.
So what I'm getting at is, at any point in time in your life, you feel like becoming an entrepreneur, you want to start some type of business. Before you go talk to any family members, friends, or banks, get any type of loans, go visit your nearest VA vocational rehab and talk to them first. And if you don't qualify for that grant, they can also give you equipment to start that business, like laptops, computers, tools, things of those natures, which saves you money as well.
Y'all heard it. He ain't bullshitting either.
It's good to know for sure.
I've talked to the vocational rehab once. But this is when I was still trying to figure out what job I wanted to do. But when they scrubbed my med pros and everything like that, they're like, you can't do anything. I'm like, well, thanks for that. Appreciate the help. Because I was so busted. I'm like, well, doggone. Like, I can't even sweep a floor. You're overqualified for all that. What the hell are you even here for?
They actually lied to you.
They lied to me.
Because you don't get disability. Nobody in the VA gets disability.
Well, then whatever they were telling me, they didn't want me to work or something.
Matter of fact, disability doesn't even exist in the VA.
Clarify that.
Okay. The VA calls it disability for the legal reason because the civilian population cannot wrap their head around the word compensation, is what you are getting from the VA.
Yeah.
Meaning, you can do whatever job you want. There's no limitations on what you do. The VA doesn't care. You want to dig ditches, build houses, be a race car driver, a doctor, a lawyer, a pro athlete, you can make $1 million a month. And on the first of every month, you'll still get your VA check. Why? Because it's 100% compensation.
Well, see, this is where they told me that I couldn't do anything because it would interfere with what I'm being compensated for.
They lied to you.
Thought it was as long as you're a PNT, you can still work, do whatever you want, work as much as you want, as long as it's PNT.
Correct.
I wasn't PNT when I first
Even
got
if
out.
you're not PNT, you can still work because disability does not exist in the VA. Everybody gets VA disability and Social Security disability mixed up. Meaning, if you're on Social Security disability, yes, that's 100% disability. No, you can't work. If you do, you commit fraud, you go to jail.
Yeah.
But VA disability, on the other hand, it doesn't even exist. We just called that for the legal terms when dealing with the civilian population
Then
when it
why?
comes to compensation.
Then why am I being told you need to be careful what you're doing? Because if the VA finds out that you're going against what you're getting compensated for, they can take everything away from you.
Let me ask you this, Cole. No, I don't mean to be rude, but can you mute the guy in the car? Because that shit's loud.
I got you. Hey, I'm going to mute you, Brandon.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think the VA has the means, the time, the personnel, and the money to go around and spy on 22 million veterans?
No, hell no.
Exactly.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I know that part is not correct, but if you have ratings for certain things medically, is it true that they can decrease your ratings based on not going to see them for them? As long as, when you're under 100%.
No.
Dog, I'm
The
being
only
lied to.
listen. The only way the VA will go in and reevaluate your ratings if you put another claim in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you don't ever put another claim in, they can't. They're not just going to say, "Oh, we're going to reevaluate now." Let me back that up. Let's say you get 100% from the VA, but it's not P&T. How do you know if it's P&T or not? Well, when you look at your rating sheet, you'll see your initial date of claim, and then if that condition is not permanent, it'll have a date 3 years later. That's your reevaluate date.
Right.
Okay. Now, they will only do that one time initially if you're not P&T. After that 3 years, the VA will never reevaluate you unless you put another claim in.
Okay. But at that reevaluation time of that 3 years, is it possible for them to lower your ratings?
Yeah, if they feel that you've gotten better, sure. But see, all you have to do is go in there and explain about flare-ups. See, that's a big thing a lot of people are not educated on.
Right.
You have to look at your VA exams like a pizza, right?
Okay.
Instead of getting 8 slices, you get 2 halves. First half, range of motion, meaning how far can you bend and rotate.
Mm-hmm.
Second half is flare-ups. How does the flare-ups affect your quality of life? Meaning, let's say you have a bad back. When you have your flare-ups, what can you do? What can't you do? What do you need assistance with? How does it affect you physically and emotionally? That's the 5 questions you have to answer for every single condition that you claim. But here's the thing. Not everything has a range of motion test, but everything has flare-ups. And you can get up to an additional 30% for flare-ups for each condition. For an example, I'm going to tell you a story, and I want you to. I'm going to ask you what type of rating you think I should have got.
Okay.
In 2006, I was in Iraq on my 4th deployment, and I got hit by 5 IEDs. Twice while I dismounted, twice in a Humvee, once in the tank. My injuries were 5 herniated discs, 3 of them with tears. I broke 3 of my vertebrae, my L4, L5, L6 in 3 places. I was temporarily paralyzed for 87 days from the waist down. I have a battery implanted in my right buttocks. 2 fiber optic wires go from my right buttocks all the way to my base of my neck. And I have to shock myself with electricity from my neck down to my toes so I can walk every day. I ended up getting 4 Purple Hearts, which are hanging up on this wall. With that being said, what type of rating do you think I got from the VA?
40%.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'd say
60.
60.
I said it
60?
first.
60. Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, everybody told me I'd get 100.
Even PTSD,
I saw
you
majors.
should get more than 70.
No, you can get 100 for PTSD.
You can if it's severe enough, yes. But they generally start you out like most people get almost immediately 50%. Most cases. Mine is at 70%.
Yep. You never want to. First, I'll come back to mental because it's a very key point that a lot of people don't realize that they can end up screwing themselves. But when I'm getting at for my back, everybody said I'd get 100. The moral of the story is I did not get 100, didn't get a 90, didn't get an 80, didn't get a 70, a 60, a 50, a 40, or a 30. The max you can get for your back for a range of motion is a 20, unless in order to get 100% for your back, every vertebrae in your back must be fused together. All 35 vertebrae. That's never going to happen.
Fucking 50% for fucking sleep apnea.
Fuck.
Yes.
But they gave you fucking 20?
You get 20%
I'm
for
explaining.
tinnitus.
No, you don't. You get 10.
Yeah, 10. 10.
So,
Did it change?
no, it's always been 10. So the next rating I can get would be a 50. There is no 90, 80, 70, or 60 for your back. It goes 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. So 60 to 90 doesn't exist. You can't get a 50 unless your T1 to your L5 or L6 must be fused together. 18 vertebrae. That's never going to happen. You can't get a 40 unless all 8 vertebrae in your neck are fused together. I don't have any fusion, so I couldn't get 100, a 50, or 40. Can't get a 30 because that has to do with your neck. The most anyone can get for their back is a 20 for range of motion, because the law says if you can bend more than 30 but less than 60 degrees, you'll get a 20. Now that's the range of motion. This is where the flare-ups come into play. You can get additional 10, 20, or 30% for your flare-ups. So if you got a 20% for your range of motion and 10% for your flare-up, what would your rating be for your back?
See,
I don't know. That whole thing, how they added up is fucked up.
Yeah.
Basic math. Not VA math. Not VA math. Basic math.
30.
30. If you got a 20 and a 20, what would it be?
40.
40.
If you got a 20 and a 30, what would it be?
50.
So you can still get a 50 without any fusions because of your flare-ups. Flare-ups are the very key part of every condition that you claim, because everything has flare-ups, but not everything has a range of motion.
I was gonna say my rating for my back and neck are like it's all together, but it's 40%.
Because of your flare-ups.
Yeah.
Wow.
For an example, your eyes, you can either see or you can't see. However, Some people have a difficulty driving at night with oncoming traffic where they get that whiteout effect. Anybody know what that's from?
No.
2016, they came out with a study that showed that long uses of night vision goggles, TIS systems, or flare systems can ruin the retinas in your eyes.
NVGs, baby.
Yes. So if that's the case, bring it up to your doctor and have him put them in your notes, because that is the flare-up part. Because there is no range of motion for your eyes, but everything has flare-ups.
What the
So
hell?
if there are any veterans out there who are going through this process, you got to talk about your flare-ups. If you don't talk about your flare-ups, you're leaving money on the table.
I'm assuming it's the same for like migraines and stuff like that too. Then it's
Migraines. Glad you said that, because there's 4 ratings you can get for migraines. You get a 0, 10, 30, or 50. Even if it's in your medical records, if you don't fill out a migraine log sheet, you're not going to get anything.
What about for hearing?
You got to be completely deaf before you get anything for hearing.
Yeah.
It's like
they-
not even like any like tendonitis or any stuff like that. Like,
Tinnitus is different. That's not hearing.
I lost.
Tinnitus is the ringing in the ear.
I lost 80% in my right ear from all the weapon systems that we use, being right-handed.
And you still got a 0.
And still got a 0.
Yep.
Yeah, I wear hearing aids and still have a 0.
Now, mental. You can get 100% for your mental. But if you get 100% for your mental, you cannot legally own a firearm and you'll never be in charge of your finances. So you never want to get 100% for your mental. The max you want to get is a 70. It goes 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, and 100.
I'm at 70.
Yeah, we're
gonna leave that one the fuck alone.
Yeah.
I said it myself.
Look.
I said I'm a little crazy. Okay.
I'm 70% for mental, and I own a lot of guns.
Yeah.
A lot. I got a permit to carry. I work for the federal government. I maintain a security clearance. Now, if I had 100% for mental, I wouldn't be able to have any of that.
Well, the 70% is also not just like one thing. They put mine together. It's PTSD with major depressive disorder and anxiety and insomnia.
That's all mental. That's all mental.
Exactly. It's all one thing. So
Yeah.
That's
How does
crazy.
unemployable work? Unemployable is just like SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. If you they just passed a law. If you get 100% out the gate off active duty, you now qualify for SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, which some people say, I don't want to work no more. And you could take Social Security Disability, which is roughly around $2,500 a month, tax-free, plus your VA. And if you're a retiree, you get your CRSC on top of that. So you can get 3 checks a month. All of it could be tax-free, depending on your rank. You could be making anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a month, tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you take SSDI, you can't work.
Period.
Same thing with unemployable with the VA, IU.
Jeff. Now this is enlightening. I mean, I would have loved to get this information well before I got my P&T, but it's enlightening to understand what I did go through and what I was battling with, because I had to go back for reeval twice, and now I don't have to go back for reeval.
it's also enlightening for those that are still in too. So it gives them some idea of what they're looking for or what
Yeah,
they're going to be.
Chris, just some ideas to. Tim is spreading some knowledge you need to know. And
Yeah.
there's one thing that I was taught while still in the capacity is document everything. And so everything got documented until they want to turn around and scrub the med pros.
Another thing that I was told that helps is obviously not everything's documented really well. if you're gone and something happens or something's going on, whatever the case may be, whoever you're with, whoever you're bunking with, or whatever dude you're with and you're with all the time, that if they write a letter with their information
Buddy
stating
statement,
stating what's going on and document everything from a second person, that helps too.
But here's the thing:
That
with the buddy statement, they don't write it. You write it. You're going to write the buddy statement. You're going to sign the buddy statement. The only thing you need is their rank, first name, last name, and phone number.
okay.
All right, then. Hey.
Dustin, are you referring to the SSDIs, what Tim was just talking about, or are you talking about in with the PNP?
Chris.
So IU through the VA, yes, you can still work, but you can only make a certain dollar amount. I think right now it's like $1,070 a month before taxes, not after taxes, before taxes. With Social Security, I think it's $1,200 a month before taxes.
So then, how does that work? Being in the capacity that we are in currently with music.
Okay, what about
it? How does that work? You get your royalties from streaming or YouTube.
Well, if you're permanent in total, you ain't got to worry about it. But if you weren't permanent in total, and let's say you were IU, meaning you're at 90%, but they're paying you at 100%,
Yeah.
you can't make over a certain dollar amount. So put the royalties in somebody else's name.
He got the sauce.
Yeah.
There it is.
There's a loophole and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't always an honest person.
For those that say for Colt, since he's now 100%, can he file for the SSDI since he's not technically working a W-2 job?
Who?
Colt.
Yeah, he could. But he better have his royalties in his wife's name.
She gets it anyway.
She ends up taking it anyway. It don't matter. That's interesting.
But here's the thing, though. With SSDI, what they don't tell you is if you were to go back to work, you're going to be on hook for 7 years to pay that Medicare bill every 4 months. It's $550, and it goes up every quarter.
Mm.
Because I was on SSDI for 7 years after I retired. And then when I come to work for the VA, I gave it up. Well, then I was on the hook for the next 7 years to pay that quarterly payment through Medicare because that's your primary insurance. And if I didn't pay it and I got into a car accident, TRICARE or VA wouldn't have paid anything because the first question it's going to ask is the patient eligible for Medicare?
Nope.
And the answer would have been yes, because I had the opportunity to pay for it for 7 years. But if I chose not to pay for it, TRICARE or VA would not pay the medical bills, and I'd be on the hook for it.
Interesting.
So I got a question for you. What happens when, say, you get out, you have a rating, say you have a 100% rating, and you get out? Obviously, you lose TRICARE for being in. Are you retiring?
Are you going to retire?
Yep.
Well, if you're retiring, you get TRICARE for life.
Okay.
And yes, that still
So you don't have to,
maintains for your kids.
Yeah.
And your wife.
Okay.
My father retired 22 years in. Got out, sergeant major, and I wasn't with him when he retired, but he still had my brothers and his wife, and they're all taken care of. Well, not the siblings anymore, but my mother's still taken care of, and she can go use it was TRICARE Prime, I believe it's called.
Parker, yeah. Mm,
Yep.
So you'll be good on that part.
All
That's one
right.
of the hardest things for veterans that do get out that didn't retire. They got out on medical disability, like myself or my wife or Doc. Um, we didn't have that. We don't have that option
Yeah.
now.
Well, now, if you're medically retired, you do.
no, we're just
No
medical discharge.
medical discharge,
Okay.
but being 100% permanent and total does give us a little benefit for uh, allowing the kids to have some type of medical benefits.
Yeah, if you were to get
It's
out
called
without
VA Champ.
yep,
Yep.
yeah, champ VA, whatever, yeah. Which application process sucks booty, but
So essentially, as long as you get to your 20 and you actually retire, then you're good.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 fucking years.
It's coming closer than you think, Bubba. I appreciate every single one of y'all coming up here. Brandon, a buddy I served with, Tim, a veteran that's not only a veteran, retired veteran, but also works for the VA system. So he's dumping some awesome knowledge for the veterans or soon-to-be veterans like yourself, Chris. Some knowledge that is needed to be known. I appreciate my wife coming up and having a perspective of the female side because we don't hear a lot from the female aspect and what they go through and how to adapt and how they're rewiring and how they're handling things. And then, of course, my co-host Doc, aka Brad, aka the American Brad Ass, hearing his perspective of things and how he's coping and dealing and just knowledge that he has and how things are tying together with him. I appreciate every single one of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, shout out to the chat for sure. Keeping this thing rolling.
Hey, Cole.
Yes, sir.
If you want to do a one time you want to do a special VA stream where I can go pull up slides and go from start to finish how the whole process is done, just let me know.
That would be
You want to lock that in for next Friday if you're available?
What time?
1500, 1500 Central Time, 16 Eastern.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. All right. They even better. We can get that set up, and we'll have you up to lock in the stream, present it, and we can go through it. So let's let the veterans know. Let's let the ones getting out know. See the process, what it's like, and everything. This is awesome.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that, Triple T.
Thank you.
That's what I get paid to do.
This is gonna be awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about next week now. We're gonna name it the VA process.
There you go.
look summer rain.
Hey, Summer Rain, what's up? No, we're welcome to
Tight,
the
tighten
Watchtower,
your shit
y'all.
up, Summer.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. No, welcome to the Watchtower. We're about to call it quits, and shut it down, and get ready for COVID wrap shit starting
Hey,
here in 2 hours. Go ahead.
here's another topic you can go over too. Because a lot of people like to run around on the internet and accuse people of stolen valor.
Yeah.
One, people need to know what the true definition of a stolen valor is, and two, how you can identify someone who's a stolen valor.
That is a good
Hey,
topic.
that's another great topic. Hell,
Yeah.
Triple T might be a permanent co-host, y'all. Get ready. They're definitely going to have them up more. Being able to have different perspectives and other folks with different wisdoms and knowledge of things. This is what this is for. It's for y'all. It's for us. Hell, educating me even. Uh, yeah, I
I
let
mean,
my wife.
I got to answer my Elon Musk questions right now.
There you go.
There you go.
Fuck Elon. Busy trying to
uh,
take my job.
hey, you need to talk to Brad about that one with his Starlink.
I like it.
Yeah, Colt's trying to convince me to go buy it.
I
Yeah,
haven't had any issues with it.
Brad was talking about it. I'm like, we need to look into
What
this.
the hell is a Starlink?
It's
Elon Musk's internet.
yeah, it's Elon Musk's internet.
Oh
But
hell no.
Brad's running off of it right now, and he ain't had problems. But the internet that
It's the
we got
alien
out
life
here
in the
is
sky.
And I'm out here in the middle of the country, so
yeah,
can't
the
get
internet
internet out here.
I got Dollar General Wi-Fi to go out every once in a while, and I'm sitting here like I'm in the middle of a live. Are you serious?
That's actually good to know, Brad, that you're in the middle of the country, because like that was my concern was we only get 1 bar of signal on our phones here at the house.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I need to know
as long
how
as
it
you have
runs for
a
someone
clear
else.
view of the sky.
Yeah.
And it's like I was telling Cole, it takes you through the process.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
You'll get it set up.
But yeah, y'all, we ran this a little longer than an hour and a half, but it was very educational. I enjoyed it. I hope y'all tune in next week to the Watchtower, same time, 1500 or 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. We'll be the same place, doing the same thing at the Watchtower, where we regroup, resupply, and recalibrate so that we can tackle the next week best we can.
Well, thanks for letting me up here, Colt.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Triple T.
Just hit just hit
Seriously,
me up.
man.
Just hit me up over this next week, and we'll get everything set up for next week.
Yeah, I'll text you.
All right. Shout out to
All right.
everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody on the panel. God bless America. Y'all have a good day.
God
You
bless.
I
too.
will.
Sir,
Thank you.
have a good one.
Snatch
All right, man.
wagon,
I'm gonna
Chris.
jump off here. It's 2 a.m.
I got you. You're more than welcome to come up anytime too.
Next week will be a good one for you.
Yeah.
Yep. I appreciate it.
Knowledgeable, even if you're in the chat or if you don't come up on panel. The panel's wide open for you if you need it.
All right. Hey, check your Snapchat. I sent you something about a week. I think it was a week ago. I think you'll like it.
Okay, I haven't been on Snapchat in like a month, so yeah.
Well, my name on there is not today, ISIS. So
No,
you probably didn't know who the fuck it was either.
not today. I just like that name. I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, there you go.
So, all right, man. Well, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
You
All right,
too.
brother.
Stay
Same to you.
safe.
Yeah, stay safe, Bubba.
Take it easy.
How the fuck do I hang up?
If
Leave.
you're on your phone, just
Yeah.
swipe
Just
up,
swipe
close the
out.
app.
Oh, hey, there it is. All right. Thank you.
Later, guys. Hey, Brad, Jess, thank you guys for being up here. I think
I'm just
it
here.
was a good show. What do y'all think?
Definitely. A lot better than I thought it would go.
What'd you
A
think,
lot more
Jess?
knowledge than we thought we was gonna get. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I said I'm just here.
Mm-hmm.
No, I liked it. I appreciate I'm being up here because I like giving the perspective from my side of things, and I think also I was able to enlighten from kind of like the other side of it, the
Yeah.
psychology side of it too.
Yep.
Right.
Well, you're not eating right
And
I
like
got
I
to
said,
use both my experiences. Yeah.
You got any closing thoughts for us, Jess?
Well, you know how big I support the 22 a day. So for those who are veterans in the chat and the panel, obviously, know that it's just one text, one phone call, just one moment of your time to check in on those you care about, those veterans that you know that might be out and struggling. So
Yep.
just know to check on those people.
And either that, or as you see at the bottom, if you are a veteran in crisis or concerned about one, please call the Veterans Crisis Line.
I know it's weird.
988 and press 1. What you got for us for closing thoughts, Brad?
I'll just leave them with my acronym there. Keep on pushing every day. Learn to cope with life. And here's another one. You made it through 100% of your bad days. No matter how bad it gets, it don't get any more perfect than that. So you can push through.
Well said. Y'all.
And of course, Red Friday, remember everyone deployed.
Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed. Y'all, this has been the Watchtower. I appreciate every single one of y'all popping in, veteran or not. All your inputs, all your questions, all your support is well needed, well appreciated, and seen. Until next Friday, this has been the Watchtower.